Demonic Toys Jack Attack is not too bad. This was released in 2023. It's been written and directed by William Butler. It is only about an hour in length, but actually I applaud that. I think there is never any need to make a film longer than it needs to be to tell the story, and I think the length works well. We also have a cast including Sofia Castellanos as Lily, we have Mabel Thomas as Audrey, and this is about a young girl who's in the foster care system, and she ends up going to stay with this family, and we have this demonic toy. This is the Jack in the Box, and it seems like wherever Lily goes with this Jack in the Box, terrible things happen. And, well, I'm not going to say who the Jack in the Box is after now, but I will say I enjoyed watching things happen to certain characters. I definitely was rooting for some characters to survive and some to definitely be sought after by the Jack in the Box, and I was quite happy with the way everything unfolded. I really liked the narrative. I thought it worked really well. I will say that the setting up was more interesting than the execution of the bulk of the horror. That's not to say the second half is bad. I still enjoyed it, but I think the suspense of the first half of not knowing quite what's going to happen was a little bit more interesting than ultimately what did happen. But nevertheless, I still enjoyed it. I thought it worked really well. The characters are well written. The performances are really good. The appearance of the Jack in the Box is very effective. It does look quite creepy. And on the one hand, it looks a little silly. If you're in the mood for a silly horror, maybe it's not quite a comedy horror, but it does have that element with the design of the character. It can lean into that, but at the same time, it is still creepy. It is still very eerie, and that worked very, very well. So while I wouldn't say I found it scary, usually this kind of horror film doesn't scare me. I'm more scared by psychological horrors, but with this one, I still found it to be very atmospheric, very well done, great lighting and special effects, great performances, definitely eerie and for the first half, quite suspenseful, and ultimately I liked it. It's an easy watch for a horror, by which I mean it's not full of 100 twists and turns where you have to pay attention to every tiny thing, otherwise you won't be able to follow it. It's very easy to follow, but it's still very well written with some great performances and a very effective atmosphere. I'm quite happy. I thought Demonic Toys Jack Attack was not too bad, maybe not scary, but certainly suspenseful, and ultimately I rather enjoyed it, and I'm happy to recommend it.